Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. and today we got a video here. I don't know why the bomb park's not loading here, but this is Top 15 Shocking Cases of Video Game Addiction. And we don't get right into this, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button, hit subscribe button, comment your thing down below. Let's go.
If you or someone you know may be suffering from internet or gaming addiction, please seek professional help. People can become addicted to anything, and gaming is just one thing on the endless list. This video should not serve as a message on how evil video games are, but rather it should serve as a message for helping others overcome their addictions.
I hate that people go over and be like, oh, video games are the problem. No, they're not. Video games are not the problem. Just because a video game is violent doesn't mean that everyone's going to become violent because of it. Because someone who uses video games as their reasoning on why they should be violent ain't right in the head from begin with, and probably should be getting help beforehand.
Number 15, the WoW prostitute. Prostitution is the act of someone offering sexual favors in exchange for currency. However, that currency usually comes in the form of cash or even drugs and food. In this case, things were pushed to an unnecessary extreme when a female World of Warcraft...
Hold on. I need 500... Hello, I need 5,000 World of Glory for my epic flying mount. In return, you can mount me. Okay. You have to have an account of a laughing skull surfer, and I want $5,000 gold before we do anything. We can make the trade at your place since I can't host. Edit. Because I'm having a lot of dumb guys message me who clearly don't have the gold, make sure to send a picture of yourself and a screenshot of your character with the $5,000 gold. I'll be checking armory profiles. Thanks. A player 1117 Night Elf Druid and would prefer someone who was into role-playing. I have a costume. But honestly, anyone will do. As long as you have the gold, I will also be okay with a woman too. As long as you have the gold. Also, not advised to the idea of group slash... please send the... This is the most insane thing I cannot believe this is actually a thing. I can't believe this is an actual thing. What the hell?
Player posted a Craigslist ad offering sexual favors in exchange for 5,000 units of WoW game gold. These units can be used to buy weaponry, outfits, and special abilities for a player's character. Local authorities found her ad while sweeping for prostitution offers on the website. The worst part of this display of addiction is that even despite her ad being removed from the site, she succeeded in her quest for game gold. Although the dirty details were never shared, this is a
That's hard to be funny. To post my picture over there and make sure. This is a sad display right here. Listen, the moment you are so desperate for video game income, I'm gonna call it video game money, that you're going to have real life sex to get it, is when you've lost the fucking plot. This is insanity. This is actually pure insanity. Never do this. Ever.
a prime example of how video games can affect people in the same way we imagine crack or heroin affecting people.
Well, hell, she might have met a guy on it. I mean, it might have worked to his favor. Both their favors. Who knows? They could just become a World of Warcraft couple. This is bizarre as hell.
A young woman was willing to sell her body for the sake of her virtual character.
Yep.
Number 14, the dropout. Many gamers have skipped school while their parents were away to stay at home and do nothing all day besides play video games, eat junk food, and fill up on energy drinks. There's really no harm in wasting a few days in front of a screen. However, this 15-year-old Australian student took things to a new level when he skipped school every day for over 3 weeks to play video games. As if skipping 15 days of school in a row wasn't extreme enough, each day that he was home he played for a minimum 16 hours. He managed to get away with this for so long by changing into his school clothes and waiting for his mother to leave for work. Her workday would end after he was due to be home from school, so it never sparked concern for her. He also lied to the attendance office at school by saying he was out recovering from surgery. He was finally caught up with, and when the school managed to contact his mother directly, he was probably grounded from video games for at least a month. Number 13.
Oh god, I'd be grounding him for video games. I'd be wanting to smack him with the video game, whatever console device he's using. I would break him the video games in front of it. He should not allowed to have video games till you finish school. Just because clearly you cannot be trusted. I would make sure, I don't care if I got late to my job. I'll be like, I am making sure my kid goes to school now. I'm going to watch him walk into that damn school. If I find out he leaves that school, I'm going to leave my work and I'm going to come beat his ass. My son, he going to go to school. You ain't playing no video games. You ain't ditching school for video games on any day. Nope.
13, the 330-pound gamer. Though you may not think of gaming as a physically strenuous activity, spending hours in one position while gaming can take a serious toll on your body. The 26-year-old Chinese gamer Jiang was not physically prepared for the 15-day gaming streak that he took. During the Chinese New Year holiday, which lasts roughly 15 days, Jiang played a multitude of PC games and rarely left his computer, sitting in one spot for approximately 360 hours. Only moving to eat and use the restroom caused Jiang's heart to have trouble pumping blood to his overweight 330-pound body. A man of this size likely already had heart trouble, and a lack of physical movement probably caused his heart to exhaust itself. Jiang went into cardiac arrest and died in front of his computer screen. While gaming is a fun and harmless hobby for most,
My man died playing, at least he died doing what he loved, right? I mean, I know that's not the greatest thing to say. At least my man died doing what he loved. He played some video games until his death. He died playing video games. He died his thing. I don't know how long he got in his 15-day streak, gaming streak. I don't know how long he got. My man went, I mean, if his thing was he only slept thing, he never slept or did anything or did, like, my man, you gotta move around. It's part of your thing. I'd go on a ding, but I'd be moving around still somewhat just because I have little things in my place that aggravate me. So, I'd be enough that I'd be moving around to the point, but I make sure I do something. I don't move that often a lot. I kind of am either lying down on my couch or sitting here filming and editing. That's why I gotta make sure I get out more. That's why I go to the gym, which I did today. You know, you gotta find different things, but you gotta make sure you move your body around. So you know. It's probably easier for me to do that when I'm the weight I am than a 330 pounder, but still, you get the point.
it's important to do everything in moderation. Know your limits and know what your body is capable of handling. Number 12, man dies in an internet cafe. In January 2015, a man named Shay became the second person in a year to die in relation to video gaming. Shay was participating in a 3-day gaming event at an internet cafe in Kaohsiung, Taiwan when he suffered heart failure and died while sitting in front of a monitor. Shay remained dead, slouched over the computer for several hours.
Where are these? Is there these in Canada? I've never seen this. Why do these exist everywhere but where I need it? Where are these in thing? Where are these? Where is a gaming cafe where you sit there and you're on your computer and you can play video games, they do gaming tournaments? I need that here.
Hours before an employee noticed and bothered to check on him. He was unresponsive, and when emergency respondents arrived, Shay remained dead, slouched over the computer for several hours before.
Hold on, you're telling me there was a guy slouched over just dead on his computer? No one noticed and no one checked on him for hours? What the fuck was everyone doing? That wouldn't work for me. I'd be playing the game, I'd still turn around, I'd be just like, okay. dude. Once I just like nick something's wrong, I just be like, alright, I don't care what you do, but hey, you might wanna check on the guy next to me. He kind of looks kind of messed up. I don't know if he's just fell asleep. I don't know if he's, I don't think I ever would have thought he was dead, but I don't know if I thought he might be having a medical thing, but I was like, oh, no, but I wouldn't have been able to just ignore him for hours.
Before an employee noticed and bothered to check on him, he was unresponsive, and when emergency respondents arrived, they deemed him dead on the scene.
Oh, yeah.
The fellow gamers at the cafe not only went several hours without noticing the dead man right beside them, but even once medical response teams showed up, they seemed unaffected and just continued their session.
That is insane. That is insane. The fact that someone can die in their area, near them, and it's just a thing that happened. You just go back to playing your game. I couldn't do that. Because I would think so many different things about the guy who died next to me. I wouldn't be able to. I'd be leaving I'd be going home. My brain would be so messed up from that.
This case was a huge argument for those that believe gaming has desensitized youth to violence and even death.
Yeah, that's a good example. That's a good fire right there. Once they'd be like, oh look, a bunch of people can see a guy die and just have no reaction to it. But you make a good point.
Number 11, StarCraft Death. The story is actually so well known, it is featured on the StarCraft wiki page, which is odd considering most game producers and enthusiasts often choose to keep gaming-related deaths kept secret because it gives gaming a bad name and only fuels the ambitions of those looking to make games less addictive and more child-friendly. Lee Sopp was a 28-year-old hardcore gamer that committed most of his free time to gaming and participating in gaming contests and conventions. Though his day job was to repair industrial boilers, he still managed to find 50 hours to dedicate to his StarCraft online session. Just before he began his session, he was fired from his job for arriving late, broke up with his girlfriend to have more time for gaming, and was deemed a gaming addict by his...
Bro, let me tell you something. You should never ever. I'll see people do something. I'm a gamer. But if someone went to me and said, hey, I just dumped my girlfriend so I could play video games, I'd smack the shit out of them. I would smack them so many times that it would almost be considered assault. I would smack them so many times a police officer would see me and arrest me. Because they would just they'd be like, what the hell made you smack? I'm like, listen, he told me he dumped his girlfriend just so he could play video games. I had to smack him until some sense got into his head, because that's next level godness right there. Because my man needs to, you deserve to get smacked. You just have the shit smacked out of you for that.
His family, as well as interfering with his work and his health. He would apparently barely eat, shower, or get out of the house as he was always playing online. He lost weight and became weaker as he dedicated more time to pressing buttons than to nourishing himself. He started his 50-hour gaming frenzy on August 3, 2005. According to reports, the internet cafe where he played was filled with cigarette smoke and was barely lit aside from the eerie glow of the computer and TV screens. Employees and witnesses also claimed that Lee ate very little and only left the computer for short restroom breaks, which were also very rare to occur. His friends showed up to the cafe in hopes of getting him to leave, but he argued and assured that he'd be done soon. Only moments after his friends left, Lee fell from his chair and went unconscious. He was rushed to a local hospital where he died. His cause of death was heart failure brought on by exhaustion and dehydration. His death had a huge impact on the gaming community and led to many game developers labeling their games as addictive and urging families and friends to seek professional help if they feel a loved one has an addiction. Number 10, Sean Woolley. Just as any other addiction, many gaming addictions are developed with the aid of underlying emotional or mental issues. Many people turn to focusing on games for hours on end because they feel something else is missing from their life, or they
I believe that. I believe people turn to gaming because they feel something's missing, and gaming the way it's especially certain games where you interact with different people and it's like group things and team things. You kind of probably feel more included in stuff that you don't in real life. So I could totally believe that video games kind of give people a purpose where they don't find in real life. I could believe that.
See the virtual world as an escape from regular life. In other cases, people suffer from things like ADD, autism, or other more severe psychological disorders, and they have problems separating what's in the game from what's happening in real life. In Sean Woolley,
I'm about to say, I guess that's his case, but that's where that's the tough part.
Lee's case, he suffered from a learning disability as well as severe emotional problems that may have been linked to either an anxiety or temper disorder. Sean was 21 at the time and had just got his own apartment and a well-paying job. His mother came to his apartment after not hearing from him for a few days, and she found him slouched over his computer screen with EverQuest, the online game, still playing in the background. The 21-year-old had shot himself. His mother, Liz, claims that he had emotional issues and became addicted to the game to the point that it was his whole life. Liz also blamed the game for his suicide, as she speculated that something happened to his character, I Love You, that triggered him and pushed him over the edge. The developers of EverQuest do not believe their game had anything to do with his death. This man was clearly suffering from severe psychological issues.
Okay. Now, should EverQuest be held responsible for? No, clearly not. They didn't do anything to cause this to happen. My man was already having clear mental issues, clear emotional issues. Clearly was going through some stuff. He himself, this was gonna happen no matter what. Right? At this point, going by what we've been told, and going by what I've assumed, he was going to do this no matter what. I can buy that him maybe dying in the video game, like maybe the day he's thinking about doing it, and then he plays the video game, maybe trying to get his brain off it. He has a bad gaming day, which people have, where they just, you just suck at it. You just suck at gaming. Just have bad gaming days. I'm a walking, talking example of it. I have too many bad gaming days to the point I think I just turned into a bad gamer. Anyways, I think he might have had a bad gaming day, and that caused him to just snap. Like that was just another thing that just sent it crumbling, and he just took his own life. I could buy that was like the last straw, but I don't think it single-handedly caused it to happen. Absolutely not.
That were deep in set before he became addicted to the game.
Yeah.
Number 9, gaming parents. Although gaming should be a fun, lighthearted hobby that you can share with friends and even family, some people seem to take things to the extreme, and it can sometimes lead to loved ones being hurt rather than being welcomed into the fun. In this case, a 3-year-old girl in South Korea died because her parents were too busy raising a virtual daughter instead of raising her. Prius Online is a game similar to Second Life, a 3-year-old girl where players
Can I? Who are these two? Who are these two? I wanna know. Who are the two? Who are the two that did this stupid fucking thing? I need to know, because I need to smack the I need to beat the shit. Because if there's something new on this channel, okay? For those that are new, here's one thing. If there's one thing that this boy right here never will condone, ever, it's 2 things. Stuff done to animals, stuff done to children. They will piss me off no matter the circumstances. When it comes to adults, unfortunately, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a sick weirdo, I don't have a reaction. There's times I feel real sympathy, and there's times it's just stupid people doing stupid things, get stupid things happening too. You know, when people charge at police, I don't really have much sympathy for the ones things, except usually they have mental things, and I wish they would have gotten it sorted out. But most of the other times, it's also, what the heck do you think was going to happen when you ran at police? Like, but when it comes to this, when your stupid ass, you pathetic, these two are so fucked up that they were raising a virtual daughter, a daughter on a video game, and they were spending more time doing that than take care of of their real life child. That's video game addiction right there. That is... Oh, I hate these two so much right now. I hate this so much right now. That is so fucked up.
Live virtual lives through a custom character. This girl's parents left her home alone to go to a local internet cafe where they lived their virtual lives for 12 straight hours. The toddler's malnourished body sparked interest in officials, and a deeper investigation was what led police to discovering this couple's addiction. Interestingly enough, there was an HBO documentary that followed this case by the title Love Child. This was the first court case to use the term internet addiction, and really brought lights to gaming addictions being issues centered around the addict and not the game. Number 8. Gamer stabbing. In June 2005, things between two gamer friends took a very dark turn when one stabbed the other. Chu Chang-wei stabbed Zhu Kaoyuan in the chest when he discovered that he sold his virtual sword from the game Legend of Mir 3 for about $660. Allegedly, Chu had attempted to take the case of the sword to court. He won the sword in a previous battle in the game and knew it could not be brought back. However, there are no laws protecting virtual property, so Chu decided to take things into his own hands and sought revenge via murder. Though Zhu offered to pay Chu, he was already too frustrated and stabbed him in a fit of anger. He now faces 15 years to life in prison. This is yet another...
My man, you're gonna spend the rest of your life in prison because you wanted a sword from a video game. My man, just get another sword. Was it one of a kind? Was it never before, never to be seen again type sword? I doubt it. Just work hard and find the sword again. Stupid asses. Man now never gonna be able to because he's gonna be in jail for the rest of his life because he's fucking stupid.
Another example of how gaming is not at fault for the extreme ways that people react to gaming and game property. It's not the fault of the game developers if people get carried away or can't control.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't blame game or game developers because just there's crazy people playing video games. Crazy people do stupid things and crazy things, and they become stupid and crazy.
Their temper. In fact, in this case, the death wasn't even a direct consequence of gaming addiction, but rather someone was hurt by the hands of the addict. Number 7. Teen burns classmate. In World of Warcraft, there are several magical characters that players can use while battling in the whimsical online world. One of those characters is a fire mage, which is basically just a wizard that specializes in fire. Well, a 17-year-old in Beijing became too attached to his fire mage character and seemed to think he had the same power. He covered a classmate in gasoline and set him on fire, claiming that
I'm sorry. Why does that mean? I shouldn't be funny, but like the thought of what was his plan? What was his plan? In what scenario? What was his plan here? I'm now curious. I want to know. What was the guy's plan? What was it? I need to hear. Hold on.
that he had become too consumed in WoW and had the delusion that he was a fire mage. The victim was lucky enough to survive the attack despite severe third-degree burn.
So, hold on, what was his plan? Did he think he could suck the fire away from the dude? Off the dude? Is that what he thought? I can't believe what I'm hearing. That is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. I have heard of some insane, crazy things. I have heard of some ridiculously stupid things. That is next level. I have never heard of someone who believed their powers, that they could control fire so much that they wanted to set someone on fire to prove it. That's a new one. That is a legitimate new one to me.
The fire mage was sentenced to 8 years in prison and had to pay the victim and his family over $100,000 in damages, medical bills, and emotional distress. Of course, it's unlikely that this teen actually believed he was a fire mage. seeing that they use magic while he literally used a can of gasoline.
Yeah.
More importantly, his ability to perfectly explain his delusion was very unlike those suffering from serious psychological detachments. It's likely that this teen had a psychological issue with his temper, not with his ability to determine reality.
Hold on, listen, I could buy... See, maybe this guy is weirder. Maybe this guy thought he could, like, you know, if someone's on fire, he could take the fire away from them and control it with his hands. So he decided, I'm gonna set someone on fire and I'm gonna break it so they're no longer on fire by, like, pulling the fire away from them. And then he tried to do it. He's like, oh, they're still on fire. Oh, I don't have them. Oh, he's still on fire. Oh God, this is good. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this guy, he's gonna die. Oh no. Oh no, you better get some help. Yeah, you need to get help. Yeah, you need to put that out. That's not good.
This was probably an act of anger that he tried to cover as a gaming addiction. However, it does go to show how video games can catch the blame for things.
I think it's probably both. It's probably both.
They aren't even at fault for. In this case,
Did he have an issue with the person he set on fire? That's what I would need to know. Like, did he happen to have a grudge with the person that he set on fire in his delusion state? That'd be my issue.
very few questioned the boy's delusions because it seemed likely that someone submerged in gaming would eventually blur the lines of reality and fantasy. Number 6. Teen suicide. This is another case of a person already suffering from emotional or social issues. Xiao Yi was a 13-year-old gamer who had an unhealthy addiction to online games such as World of Warcraft, Prius Online, and others. According to his parents, he had very few.
I have never played a game like this, like World of Warcraft or like that. One, because my computer can't handle it. I don't know if this computer could. I've never tried playing a game on this computer. I don't think it could. And then also just because I don't know how they work. I don't know anyone who plays them. But I might check it out one day. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see.
Friends, and mostly only talked to people in online chat. His parents once found him in an internet cafe where he had been for 2 days without eating. They knew he had a problem as he acted like he was on drugs and did not care for himself properly.
Also, in 2024, next year, I will be also introducing more gaming stuff because I'm going to try to more variety this channel as much as I can.
But they claimed they did not know how to seek help and thought things would resolve themselves. The end result was much.
That's not how it works. Addiction never resolves itself. You'll rarely ever find a time where an addict will just resolve it and deal with it himself. There's a reason rehabs exist. And I feel like most rehabs will work on any form of addiction. If they don't, that's stupid. It's different ways. Yes, there's different ways you have to treat different things. Like obviously a drug addict or alcohol addict is different than a video game addict. But it's the same, pretty much same principle.
Much more tragic than these parents could have ever imagined. Xiao left a note saying that he hoped to meet his online friends and continue their games in paradise. He then jumped from a 24-story building and died on impact.
What?
Though gaming did take certain control over his life, this young teen had trouble in social settings and suffered from an emotional disorder that likely aided in this development of the addiction. Number 5. Daniel Petrick. Daniel was housebound with strep throat when he first played Halo 3 at a friend's house. This led to him wanting to purchase a game for himself. His father was a pastor and both his parents were strongly against him playing a violent video game with adult ratings. This didn't stop Daniel though. He eventually bought the game on his own without his parents' consent. He would allegedly go on to play the game for up to 18 hours a day. One night, his mother caught him playing the game, so Daniel's father locked the game up in a safe. The then 16-year-old Daniel stole his father's key to unlock the safe. He took out his video game as well as his father's 9mm handgun. According to reports, Daniel approached his parents as they were sitting in the living room and told them, "Please close your eyes, I have a surprise for you." He then shot them both. He shot his father in the chest and his mother in the head, chest, and arms. She died almost instantly, but his father managed to survive. Daniel tried to make it look like a murder-suicide by handing the gun to his father and saying, "Here's your gun, Dad, take it." Daniel's sister came over for plans to watch a baseball game, but Daniel tried to force her away by saying that their parents were fighting badly. She walked in to find her parents lying in pools of blood and immediately called the cops. Daniel made an attempt to escape in the family van with the Halo 3 game riding in the passenger seat. He didn't make it very far though.
This stupid. This man was so addicted to wanting to play Halo 3, he took his parents' life to get it. And then when he took it alive and made a run for it, he made sure that his video game was in the passenger seat as his companion. Oh, as his partner in crime. Halo 3. Man, the chief dude in Halo would be so this boy. He'd beat you. He'd kill you. He'd kill you, Daniel, for making such stupid decisions. Man believes in justice, and that ain't justice.
Before officers caught up with him and arrested him, as he was being handcuffed, he still tried to play off the idea that his dad had shot his mom. Daniel's attorney claimed that he had been under stress from his strep infection and was too susceptible to the violence in the game.
No.
His attorney also claimed that Daniel did not understand how permanent shooting his parents would be because he had been so involved in the game. He was given life in prison with a chance of parole after 23 years.
What? How was he given a chance to... How was he given a chance of parole? He didn't deserve that at all. Not a second did he deserve that.
Number 4, Berserk. The arcade maze-style shooter game was popular in the early 1980s. Berserk was the first record of deaths in relation to video gaming. Jeff Daly was 19 years old when he reached the top 10 high score of over 16,000 points in Berserk. Only seconds after posting his high score, Jeff died from heart failure. It was never confirmed it was directly due to the game, but it seems likely he got too worked up while playing. A year later, in October 1982, another player died under the same circumstances, though his high score is unknown. 18-year-old Peter Bazowski made the top 10 high score list.
Lazowski, I'm always watching you, Lazowski.
Twice in under 15 minutes, and immediately collapsed and died of a heart attack. It's likely that since video games weren't as common as they are now, that people weren't used to this kind of high energy unrelated to physical activity, and these two young boys were just unable to handle this kind of excitement. This of course did not discourage players. The game remained popular for several years following the incidents, and it was a common goal to try and beat Jeff Daly's high score, almost like a morbid competition with death himself. Number 3, Grand Theft Auto. In the world of
Oh boy, if there was ever a game I expected caused some problems, it is this game. If there was ever a thing, a video game series that I bet would cause people to think they could just do whatever, it is this game.
Of violent video games, GTA takes the award.
Yep.
The game of shooting, drugs, hookers, and of course Grand Theft Auto is always the center of debate about violence in video games. Parents are concerned their children will pick up behaviors of their characters, or think that after hours of gameplay they can escape real cops. Of course, this isn't always the case. Many players around the world can easily put the controller down and act like civilized people. In the case of Devin Moore though, after he put the controller down, he picked up a real gun. The then 18-year-old was arrested for stealing a car and was being booked in the Fayette, Alabama police station. He got into a physical tussle with an officer and managed to take his gun. He then shot 2 other officers and a dispatcher. He fled in a police car and was later apprehended. His only statement was,
That is one hell of a thing. That's a GTA video. I would see that as a GTA video. That's what's it saying. I go with it.
"Life is a video game. Everyone's going to die sometime." This was another case of someone mentally unstable who probably suffered from some type of emotional damage or mental disabilities before committing such a heinous crime. He was sentenced to lethal injection. The case was appealed once already and is due for another appeal, but it's unlikely he will be set free. A 60-minute special took a look at this case, as well as the gameplay behind Grand Theft Auto. Number 2, neglectful father. A 24-year-old father was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter when his 10-month-old twins died. The young dad, Greg, left his infant twins in the bathtub while he played a portable Game Boy in the other room. He was allegedly
I want to strangle him. I want to strangle him. My man, I'm in my 20s. I ain't that stupid. Not for a second am I that stupid. I want to he needs to be strangled. Strangled. Just strangle. Just strangle him for just strangle him like he's Bart Simpson. You know what I mean? Just fucking strangle him.
away from the tub for only 30 minutes, but that was plenty of time for these two babies to drown.
Yeah.
Lots of controversy sparked over the fact that he was playing a Game Boy, because he could have easily taken it into the bathroom with him while he supervised the twins.
That's a good point. That didn't even cross my brain. My brain was just like, this is a dumbass just wanted to play a video game. That was all his thing was. He was so assumed by me. But then someone brought up, yeah, he's a Game Boy. You could bring a Game Boy wherever with you. He could easily have brought the Game Boy into the bathroom with him. Yeah, just have him charged. Yeah, just take. No, it's not involuntary, man. So it's. I question that now. I question that.
There was no foul play found to be involved in the drowning.
I don't know.
Number 1, garden burial. Much like other parents on this list, this father's addiction got in the way of his parenting. The 22-year-old father by the name of Chung apparently left his toddler home alone for at least 12 hours a day to play video games in local internet cafes. The child was badly malnourished as he apparently only fed him every 3 days. The 2-year-old starved to death one day when the father was away playing online. It's also claimed that he allowed the body to rot for about a month inside the apartment before he wrapped it in a plastic bag, which he then stuffed into a suitcase and buried in a local community garden. When the decomposed body was discovered, Chung was arrested and claimed he needed help for his addiction. The infant's mother had begun working at a factory far away since Chung was unemployed. She apparently did not live with them for the time she was working and had no idea of the neglect that was happening to her child.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this reaction video. Let me know what you thought of these insane cases of video game addiction in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.